And now it's time for RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another hour of RoadWorthy Drive Behind the Scenes. I'm Ken Chester with the usual suspects, Jack at the controls,
Hello.
Sasha at the mic, and
Hello.
me in the seat. We're going to do our usual. We're talking about from the parts bin. We've got some subjects to cover. For this hour, our main topic is foreign automakers and what they introduced in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Detroit. It seems that they were more, they liked cars better than Detroit did. So they have some cars and SUVs. We'll talk about what they brought. And at the end of the hour, we'll actually talk about some of the concepts. And you'll find out where I have an actual Jack moment.
You what?
Yes, having a Jack moment.
You actually had a moment of
Having
mine?
a Jack moment.
Why does Jack get his own moment reference?
Because it's the moment I had.
Well, and because I am the one that is so against autonomous vehicles.
The hater in the crowd.
I am not a hater. I wish you'd quit that.
Well, in any case, another fun-filled hour. So settle down, buckle in, and thank you for joining us. RoadWorthy Drive Behind the Scenes. Thanks.
Okay, you ready for 11 minutes?
I am, sir. 11 minutes.
Okay, and here we go.
Do you want to go faster? Yeah!
It's RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester. Ken loves talking about cars and automotive trends. And here he is, the automotive host with the most, Ken Chester.
Thank you for tuning in to another hour of RoadWorthy Drive. I'm Ken Chester, your host, along with the rest of the RoadWorthy Drive crew, executive producer Jack DeLeon at the controls, and social media diva Sasha Little at the other microphone.
Hello.
Oh, I guess we'd call that the alternative microphone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alternative.
This hour, we continue sharing with you some of the vehicles that were recently introduced at the auto shows in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Detroit. Our focus for this hour will be on the foreign automakers. I assure you we'll get right to that, but first, I want to make sure that if you're a first-time listener that you know how to become part of the action. You can text or call me on the RoadWorthy Drive line at 872-222-9793, and that number is good anytime. If you would rather send me email, my address is ken@roadworthydrive.com. No matter how you want to reach out to me, I want to hear from you. Regular listeners know that right about here, I delve into breaking news. But with all the information that ends up in my in-basket, I was concerned that I wasn't able to share more of the important events and technology that was happening on a daily basis. So I'm replacing it with something that I call From the Parts Bin. And on that note, we will get started. Jack, the key here is Tesla denies Model 3 production issues.
Horse hockey.
Yeah. Now, they are contesting a CNBC report that there were further delays and quality issues for the Model 3. And they claim that they were on track for their production numbers, even though they pushed them back again. The problem here seems to be not so much in the plant making the car, but in the battery factory making the batteries.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was all car.
According to this piece here from Reuters, Tesla's problems with battery production at its Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada, are worse than it had been acknowledged. And that was a report by CNBC, and this was in the past week, last couple of days.
Okay.
Citing some company employees. The problems included Tesla needing to make some batteries by hand and borrowing scores of employees from one of its suppliers to help with manual assembly. I'll let that sink in.
Okay, so they've got some real serious issues then.
Yeah. Remember Buddy in White?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not a thing.
Yeah. Tesla currently plans to make about 2,500 Model 3s per week by the end of the first quarter, and that's half the number they had earlier promised.
Okay, what number did he have for the end of 2017?
5,000 a week.
And he was nowhere near it.
Nowhere near it. And they pushed that out, the 5,000, to the end of the second quarter. But as the man says, wait, there's more. Tesla decided to bring their Model 3 to some of their showrooms on the East Coast, in Manhattan, Boston, and Miami.
Okay, hold it. I thought this was not going to be in a showroom.
Well, they have showrooms. They just don't have them in everywhere. In some states, they do.
Okay.
Okay. Now, parting thought, how many people do you think still have made reservations for this car?
I have no idea.
Hold on to your hat. The number they're showing here in this piece, 500,000, which has gone up about 150,000.
Okay.
In most automobile assembly plants, that's about a year and a half of production,
Yep.
flat out.
Sasha, you were going to say something?
I was actually because a couple things come to mind. Great things come to those who will wait. And
Not when I'm putting down $35,000 a copy.
I know.
No,
I know.
no. This ain't patience. This is where's my car.
I know.
Let me just make that plain. Where's my car?
It takes a while to give you perfection. Can you just wait a second?
You know what? Automakers have been doing it for almost 100 years, managed to get it done.
And I was about to say, how long have some of these people been waiting already?
At least a year.
At least a year. Yeah.
And
Okay,
some of these people,
I think Ken's got a great point here.
Yeah.
If you've waited a year for this car and you still don't have it because they can't get something right.
a bunch of some things.
Okay, well, I was being kind.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just-
This is going to make me go, give me back my money.
well, the $1,000 deposit anyway.
Well,
At least.
and how much of that are we actually seeing? Are we seeing people that paid in full or even just
Oh,
the
no.
deposit?
Most of the people paid a deposit.
Right.
Ain't no way you're going to pay in full and wait 2.5 years.
But what I'm saying is that are we hearing from those people? Are we hearing angry customers that are saying, "Where's my car?"
Well,
Because
there-
I mean, every news agency is coming out and just dogging the holy heck out of it. But are we hearing from the people that this is directly affecting?
let me put it to you another way. We'll wait and see when they finally get up to production how many people bail out, because those $1,000 were not. It was not a non-refundable situation, so you
Right.
could bail when you got darn good and ready.
Right.
But what the company was trying to do too was push these people into Model S's.
Really, were they offering them a nice
No.
Co- Okay.
Just what I'm saying. All right. How about a book? From self-driving to personal robot, 5 ways the car of the future will change your life. That's from My Cognitive Automobile Life, Digital Divorce from a Cognitive Personal Assistant.
Huh?
This is a book that where the two writers take readers into the intersection of artificial intelligence, cognitive machines, and cars. They present an insider's view of our automotive future in which everything we think and feel about cars will change.
I need that book.
Today's cars may seem advanced with lane keeping and parking assist, talking and hearing GPS system, and more, but guess what? They're merely first-level iterations. The car, and this is what they're proposing, the car as we know it will be obsolete in a decade, and the only factors holding back the transformation are how quickly infrastructure, and we talked about this, regulation, and in related industries can catch up. And why, they also discuss why autonomous cars will change our life as radically and as quickly as smartphones. The name of the book, My Cognitive Automobile Life, Digital Divorce from a Cognitive Personal Assistant. Sebastian Wednowski, it's Wedeniwski, and Stephen Perun, Perun, are the writers.
Okay. What he's just done in the last 2 minutes has made my brain hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want this book.
You want that book?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now.
Are you? Okay. This next subject's gonna be a little touchy.
Okay.
And it should be touchy, may be touchy for our listeners and maybe even some of our affiliates.
Go for it.
Wait. Do we need to do the disclaimer, Jack?
N-
The following opinion is Ken Chester's and Ken Chester's only. Go on.
Actually, it's not an opinion. It's a series of articles starting in 2013 through 2016. The first article says, and I quote, AM radio, where do we go from here? The reason why I did this research, I have a vehicle outside, brand new, very nice. You just rode in it, Jack.
Yep, we did.
It's got a lot of things. It's got a massage seat. It's a hybrid. It's fast. It's nimble. It's brand new, loaded and brimming with safety features.
Except
It's missing one thing that would make me not buy it.
the AM dial.
The AM dial has FM and satellite radio. It does not have the AM band. Now, I had a friend of mine who is in the industry
Mm-hmm.
who had sent me an email and had talked about a Tesla model that was not going to have AM radio. And I kind of poo-pooed it. I said, it's Tesla, of course. But there is a growing, and I tried to Google it to find out how many 2018 cars didn't have it. And I really couldn't find anything. What I did find was the move to HD radio, which was both for FM and AM digital. That would help AM radio. So the 2013 article says, AM radio, where do we go from here? Next following year, another article. More automakers are cutting radios and CD players. And then finally, in 2015, 3 years ago, and I quote, this is from Forbes, consumers still want AM, FM radios in their cars. And then finally, in 2016, many 2017 car models are equipped with HD radio. Now, going back to the Forbes article for a minute, the average consumer still wants a quality car, one that does not cost too much to get to destinations, and one that has entertainment choices, including the AM, FM radio. And I'm on record of being one of those.
I'm on record of being one of them, too.
Because when I test all kinds of cars, and regular listeners know that I get vehicles to test from the automakers.
Yep, you do.
The first thing I do
is set it to one of our affiliates.
I set AM to my favorite affiliate here in town. I set my FM, and then I go to satellite radio.
Yeah.
And the reason, because at least in our market, if things get bad in a hurry, there's only one station within 100 miles that you go to for the latest one, whatever's going on.
Whether it's weather, news, or whatever.
And that's the station I want to listen to. I would not buy this otherwise perfect $71,000 car because of that. Oh, well, so much for that. This is RoadWorthy Drive.
RoadWorthy Drive is a cornerstone of the RoadWorthy Drive radio network.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, folks,
We
is
made
what
it.
happens when you miss a cue.
We made it.
Barely. I wasn't paying attention. I was on a roll.
You were on a roll. I was on the same roll you were.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Neither one of us was looking at the clock. But the bottom line, there seems to be a move afoot. While HD radio has indeed helped, particularly the FM stations, some of the AM stations, and here's the argument they made. You realize that fully half of the top 100 radio stations in the United States are AM radio stations?
Well, yeah, and the other thing that you're beginning to see is you're beginning to see a lot of these AM simulcasting on FM.
Yep. In fact, some of our affiliates do that.
Yep.
So the jury's still out, I guess, because as I was looking at it over a period of about 4 years, they went from asking, where do we go from here, to the last piece 3 years ago that said consumers still want AM, FM radio. I'm on record as being one of those. So I want my AM radio. I'm not ready to let it go just yet. So, okay, let me get...
Well, and the thing that people do not understand is that the AM band travels so much farther than an FM will.
Yeah, but the argument they had with the typical analog AM was the fact that it was prone to all kinds of interference, hence the move to HD.
Yep.
So, okay, you've got us. Hold on, let me get my stuff right.
Oldsmobile.
Yep, hold on.
I'm still waiting for it to save, so we're good.
That done, put you here.
In your mic.
In your face.
Oh.
Oh, my. Okay,
Excuse me.
apparently.
I have a frog in the throat.
Mm-hmm. Well, how did the frog get there?
I don't know.
Can it be? Oh, no.
Oh, yo,
no.
don't.
Let the Looney Tunes alone.
God.
No, you didn't. The dancing, talking
Yes.
frog. Oh, my God.
Yes, she did.
Only here on RoadWorthy Drive, folks. Comic relief.
No, yeah, we need comic relief.
Yeah. Anytime you're ready, boss.
Okay, here we go.
like the fashion line design of the 61 Oldsmobile. So they decided to take a test drive. It's the sure way to learn about the full-size comfort and full-size power of Olds for 61. You have to experience that big new Skyrocket engine and hydromatic drive with accelerator action. You have to see for yourself the way the Skyrocket makes molehills out of mountains, responding eagerly to every command. The way Olds engineered a silent, steady, stable ride through the liberal use of rubber throughout the chassis. And a new idea in suspension, twin triangle stability, that brings out the full benefit of deep coil springs. Action speaks louder than words, as this couple discovered. Tomorrow, why don't you see your Oldsmobile quality dealer? Test the best. Try out a new Dynamic 88, Super 88, or 98. Take the wheel. Drive the 1961 Oldsmobile.
If you're just joining us, this is segment 2 of this hour of Roadworthy Drive. I'm Ken Chester. Now, this hour, we're talking about vehicles introduced by foreign nameplates at the recent large car shows. While Detroit seems to be fixated on the full-size pickup truck and SUV, the foreign automakers have cast their lot on a variety of vehicle types and drivetrains. And I could sum it up best like this. Asian cars aren't dead yet.
Now, I
Okay.
noticed that you're putting in the yet.
That was going to be my question.
Right.
Well, they're even feeling the pull more towards the SUVs. I mean, the full-size American pickup truck is an American thing. You're not going to find these in Europe. Anywhere else.
Right.
However, you are seeing, even overseas, this growing of the small, what they're calling now, compact SUV, which is even smaller than our small SUVs,
Right.
Oh.
which what we used to call crossovers. We'll talk about a few of those in a minute. But I lead off with a wonder from Hyundai. They're actually launching a performance sub-brand.
Really?
Yeah, called the N lineup.
Oh.
Their first vehicle in that lineup is their Veloster, their 3-door hatchback. And what they're doing, they're taking a different approach. They're not so much horsepower, but, horsepower per mile, but what they're calling heartbeats per minute. Basically, more fun, which is not literally brute strength. So basically, tuning the suspension, giving it a better, more dynamic look. How did they say it? Hyundai chose to emphasize the N driver's heartbeats per minute rather than revolutions per minute, with the front-to-drive character as a top priority. That's where they're going. The Veloster N takes Hyundai to a new level of purchase consideration for two driving enthusiasts in the U.S. And what they're doing, you do get a larger engine. You do get a more tight suspension. So it's not, again, not all looks. There's some performance behind it. I sum it up this way. You might not play with your food, but you will play with this car.
Okay.
It's a fun car to throw around. And that's kind of the takeaway for that. So, now, next car, Mazda 6. Again, another car. I call the Mazda 6 a very capable car that, at least in the marketplace, has been largely invisible. It's not a bad car. There's nothing against it, not to recommend it. It's just that it seems to get lost in the clutter.
Have they redesigned that car recently?
They have. Thank you for asking. The re-engineered, redefined Mazda 6. And according to the automaker, Mazda's path to premium. And what they're doing is they're reskinning the car. They're redesigning it. They are going more luxury and more sophistication. And they're using something they call the Mazda 6 Signature model, which is a whole combination of a redesigned interior, a more active consumer experience, a better-looking, more sophisticated vehicle. In fact, they're using their optional engine in this car, the upscale engine that they're using for this, is the Skyactiv G 2.5T, which is a turbo. They call it a dynamic pressure turbo. Bottom line, this four-cylinder engine produces torque on par with a 4-liter V8.
It's a nice looking car.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like
And that's double the output. If you're running roughly a 2.5-liter 4 and you're going to a 4-liter, it's almost twice over.
Yeah.
So they're upping the performance. They're upping the look. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and we'll see how they do. But again, another car.
Mm-hmm.
But as the boy says,
We're
not
not
done yet. May I introduce the Nissan Kicks? It replaced the ugly Juke in the lineup.
I like the Juke.
And this thing is smaller than the Nissan Rogue Sport they introduced last year that I just put my wife in one.
Okay.
And I thought that was small, but works for her. This is smaller than that.
I like it.
Wow.
And wait a minute, imported from Brazil.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be available in 3 trim levels, and it's going to be powered by a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine with a continuously variable automatic. Here's the kicker. You can't get it in 4-wheel drive.
What?
No 4-wheel drive, sorry. Not happening there.
Well, and I don't see that car selling well here then.
It will.
You think so?
Absolutely. With traction control, stability control, and all the other power, a good set of tires you don't always need 4-wheel drive. Now, you remember in the last program I said, name me the vehicle that they nicknamed the Japanese Buick?
Yep.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Go for it.
The 2019, completely redesigned, 4th generation Toyota Avalon.
The Toyota Avalon.
That car was already awesome. Why buy a Lexus when you can drive this thing? I mean, it's comfortable, it's reliable, it's roomy, and then they just upped it. They just completely redid this car for 2019.
Okay.
Made it more sophisticated, more aggressive. I don't know how you improve on this one.
But here's my question.
It's a really awesome car.
You know, you asked the question, why would you buy a Lexus versus buying a Toyota?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
This particular Toyota.
Well, let's face one thing.
Hmm?
When it comes to Lexus, what Lexus has done is that Lexus has honestly put the customer first. They have great product,
Mm-hmm.
but they have put the customer experience first and foremost.
You do realize that Lexus is the upscale division of
I
Toyota.
understand.
Thank you.
I understand
Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this.
But I don't, never having bought a Toyota,
I have, actually.
okay, do you have the same experience that the Lexus people are having with the Toyota?
Well, you're talking luxury versus not luxury, which is fair, but you can make that argument for any luxury manufacturer.
Well, that's true.
All I'm saying is, I'm not dissing Lexus. All I'm saying is the Avalon is that good. If you are looking for what we used to consider the traditional, reliable, large, comfortable, powerful, reliable, I said reliable twice, car,
It's reliable.
this is it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's American made.
Isn't that made in Alabama?
Kentucky.
Okay.
Mm.
And has been for years. A nice, solid car. You know, so I'm just saying. When we come back, folks, we're going to continue the momentum with a look at what the European automakers brought with them to the colony. Roadworthy Drive with Ken Chester is heard exclusively on the Roadworthy Drive Radio Network.
Want more than your share of the road? Be sure to check out Roadworthy Drive on Facebook.
Go for it.
That's a Lexus.
I know.
For those of you that have access to our Facebook page, Sasha is falling in love with the Lexus concept.
I am falling in love, and I will actually share pictures.
That is the LF1 Limitless.
That is sharp, and I love the
It's a
cars.
concept.
It's okay. It's okay.
a concept.
It's okay. It's okay.
And anything that they build in concept, they're going to destroy.
No,
Not
no,
necessarily.
No.
Some concepts, depending on the automaker, actually become
Mm-hmm.
with either no changes or minimal changes, depending.
And sometimes they'll actually keep a concept, and then they will sell to like collectors and stuff. They don't always destroy them.
That is the
'Cause
point.
What's that one that they had where she was all like cloth? I think it was a BMW. It was a concept car, and I think they named her Eve or something like that. And she winked at you, and yeah, it was.
That was a couple of years ago. I remember that car.
Yeah, yeah. She actually sold to a private collector. Yeah, but anyway, I I
you had
like.
a soft spot for Eve.
I did. I do. I mean, it was just a really sweet, and they actually kept her going for like, I want to say like 18 months. Like she was one of the rare ones that they introduced her at the auto shows, and then she went back to like 2 of the following years auto shows.
Yeah, some of them they do recycle and show at different shows through
Mm-hmm.
the year. And what concepts have taken on now, and they've really changed over the last 30, 40 years? If you went back 30, 40 years ago, concepts were concepts. They were out there, way out there, just designers' minds running wild of what could be. Today, more often than not, a concept is close to either design cues that they're going to incorporate in future cars or a mostly production vehicle that they're going to introduce in the next couple of years. So that's not nearly as far off as it used to be. Very often, if you're seeing a concept vehicle today, either you're going to see it's the design incorporated in some future, or you might see that vehicle actually for sale in coming years. So it's not as out there as it used to be. So, okay, 9 minutes, third
9
segment.
minutes.
Okay, I've got
9 minutes,
one.
third segment.
I've got one Asian one to clean up before I get to the Europeans, but we're fine.
Okay.
Okay, when you're ready, sir. And this is segment number 3.
Number 3. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, hang on. We got to start over.
Yeah.
The mics were on.
I'm sorry. And
That's okay.
the sound wasn't on, so she couldn't hear what was going on here.
Oh,
Could you? Okay, my mistake. Sorry. All right.
No problem.
Hold on. Let me reset my clock.
reset your clock. I got to
Okay.
wait for the cut to
sorry.
end and reset.
Your headphones are loud enough that I'm able to hear them from there.
When you're ready, sir.
Okay, here we go.
This is the third segment of this hour of Roadworthy Drive. Thanks for taking us along with you. I'm Ken Chester. For those of you who have yet to check out our new and improved website, what are you waiting for? The Roadworthy Drive crew is proud of our completely redesigned website, easier to navigate and find your favorite things. Videos of our weekly behind-the-scenes antics, audio clips of past shows, and more. It's also a great place to discover our goings-on in the universe of social media. Sasha is our resident social media diva, and she keeps things interesting and lively during the week and between shows with her compelling posts about automotive technology. Drop by and see how she keeps the social in our social media. After all, we did it just for you, right, Sasha?
We do. Every single week.
There you go. Before we turn our attention to the European automakers, I do have one more Asian automaker, and they're brand new, all new. We're trying this again kind of thing.
Okay.
Much the same way that Volkswagen introduced the big Atlas, much the same way that BMW is in the process of introducing a gargantuan X7, which is a huge SUV they're building in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Subaru is back in the market with its 3-row Accent SUV. Now, we shot pictures of it in New York as a concept last year.
Yep.
They're building this in their plant in Indiana. And remember, Subaru had tried it before with the Tribeca. This is bigger than the Tribeca.
Are we talking about either Explorer or Expedition size?
I would say probably a little bit bigger than Explorer, not quite as big as an Expedition.
Tahoe?
No, not quite that big.
Okay.
I mean, bigger than your midsize, but still probably smaller than Tahoe, Expedition, not quite that animal.
Okay.
But as they say, it's the largest Subaru ever with choice of 7 or 8 passenger configurations. We mentioned it's going to be built in their plant in Lafayette, Indiana. Their words, the highly anticipated 3-row SUV is the biggest Subaru ever built and designed for active families on the go. It's going to be available in 4 trim levels, premium, base, premium, limited, and touring. And it should be available next summer. Give you an idea how big it is on the inside. This is passenger volume, which is cargo space and passenger space. 153.5 cubic feet. It's big.
It's big.
8 USB ports, 19 standard cup and bottle holders, and a 120-volt power outlet based in the rear of the center console.
All right. You had me at cup holders.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Did I mention 19?
Yes, you mentioned 19, but I get in trouble, Sasha, every time that I go buy a vehicle because the first thing I look at is cup holders.
Yep.
If the
should I
cup holders are not strategically placed where I want them, that vehicle is out, I'm moving on.
Okay, so we place an order for you for an accent?
No.
Okay. To give you an idea, 2 rows, a 60-40 split, flat folding seats, 72.6 cubic feet of cargo space.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty wide. Low entrance endpoint allows easy entrance for second and third row passengers. Obviously, standard all-wheel drive. And here's the kicker. You would think something that big was not economical. Subaru is saying that you will get on 1 tank of gas with their new largest ever vehicle built in the United States, 500 miles on a tank of gas.
What?
That's pretty good. That's really good, as a matter of fact.
500-mile range on a single tank.
Does it tell you how much this vehicle will cost?
Not yet, but I'm sure that pricing will be announced probably late spring.
Okay.
On that note, we'll try to get through this. We won't get through all of these before the break, but I'm going to try. Audi is introducing a brand new 4th generation A8, which is their flagship. This thing is awesome to start with. It's got a lot of what you call conditional autonomous vehicle technology, basically what they're calling level 3. Part that spooks me, Audi AI Park Pilot, and wait for it, the Audi AI Garage Pilot. The car will put itself in the garage.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I go in the house at night, I forget I hit a button, car goes in the garage.
For the most part. Yeah, freaky.
Car comes out of the garage in the morning when I'm trying to let it warm up.
And we haven't even talked about traffic jam assist. Yeah, you can set it in a traffic jam where it will start, stop, keep its distance at low speeds.
What?
Yes.
And how far up in low speed will it go before it tells
That's
you
a good
got
question.
to go?
It didn't say, but I'm sure the number was 10 miles an hour. I mean, not very fast.
Okay.
This is literally stop and go. Here's my personal favorite. A brand new, first ever for the longest time, Mercedes-Benz G-Class. If you are familiar with the boxy G550, they used to call it the Giller wagon, this thing is about as close to a mechanical mountain goat that you will ever own.
He said mechanical mountain.
Did he say mechanical goat?
I did. Mountain goat, sir. No, you didn't. Anyway, a previous generation of these, they brought me back. They gave me to take back from the Chicago Auto Show one year.
Okay.
16 inches of snow. I was taking my then copy editor and her husband home. We're going down a road that no one's ever been in 16 inches of snow. Locked those 3 differentials, and it was like a ride in the summertime. This thing is bulletproof. They're even saying that with the right surface, it can scale a 100% grade.
Wow.
Yeah. This thing is no joke. It was originally built for the German military,
Okay.
but it's gained popularity. I've driven one of these. This thing is, oh my goodness, it's worth the money you're going to pay for it. And they hand build them. They only build so many a day. And they've improved it. This thing's even more aggressive now than it was. And they've been building it since 1979. Basically, if you got to be off-road and it's ugly, this is what you buy.
That is not a bad-looking vehicle.
It's comfortable. It is solid. And if you, let me say it another way. If you get stuck in one of these, ain't nobody coming to get you.
Very much.
Nobody can get you. If you get stuck in with one of these, you beyond stuck. That's where that vehicle is going to sit forever.
I know you're going to probably say something, but it kind of looks like one of those Scions.
No.
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 Yeah, it does.
It's also much bigger. Okay, speaking of smaller, redesigned minis.
No.
Redesign,
Okay.
No.
redesigned hardtop 4-door, and a new mini convertible. There, if you can, the design is more, how shall we say it, British. Their words, not mine.
Now, why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, I'm just going to leave that where it is because we're getting short of time. This is one. BMW i8 convertible.
Oh,
Roadster.
that is nice looking.
Yeah, electric.
Really?
Really. And the backup engine is a turbocharged, and I'm not even lying, 3-cylinder.
Wow.
This thing is fast. And it's the first ever convertible. And yeah, 140 somewhat thousand, you too can own one.
Oh, by the way, Sasha, at
yes.
least he hasn't talked about smart car yet.
You know, I could, but I'm not going to. When I return, I'll look at foreign concept vehicles and my Jack moment. You're riding shotgun with Ken and Roadworthy Drive.
Roadworthy Drive. Like us on Facebook.
You're up.
And I left out the Jetta. Brand new Jetta. Completely new Jetta. Jetta. Oh,
I was looking for that one.
I sent it to you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Then maybe I forgot to download it.
Yeah,
I'll look back
I
through.
sent it to you.
Okay.
I know I sent it to you.
I
You probably didn't recognize it, but I sent it
no,
to you.
but you sent it to me. You
Yep.
sent them all to me.
I
Okay.
did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the orange one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See? She
my
She had a
gosh.
preconceived idea of what a BMW should look like.
Oh my gosh.
And now she's having a
By the-
reaction in
A
real time.
conniption.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
she can't afford the 140,000.
I can't either.
I can't either.
I
I
mean,
can look. I can
Oh
see
yeah,
the
you
car
can
go
look, but you
vroom,
can't
vroom.
touch.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely can't touch.
that is sharp.
Mhm.
And it's only a 2-passenger, which would mean that it was just me and my dog.
You know, don't
My
hate,
long-haired Akita
don't
sitting
hate
in the front.
Don't hate the dog. Don't hate the dog.
I gotta get one with black and white, and that way it'll match my Akita. Just be sitting up there.
I could talk about the Jetta, but I'm not going to.
I was not impressed with the Jetta.
Actually, it's moved to their fancy platform, and it's actually cheaper and more encompassing.
Yeah, but I mean, Volkswagen has done so many things, and they've got so much coming out right now that I was just not impressed with the Jetta. Yeah,
For the price point it's at,
but that BMW is sharp.
yeah,
Or
well, it
not.
should be for that kind of money.
That Mercedes is sharp too. That G-Class.
And that G-Class ain't cheap either.
I mean,
It'll set you back hard, but let me tell you, having driven one,
mhm.
worth every penny. Honest to God. If you're going to be off-road, seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and seriously off-road, where pickup trucks and SUVs fear to tread,
right.
that's what you drive.
Well,
No, I'm serious.
I know, but again,
3 locking differentials,
well,
plus something they call G-Drive, or that even overrides that and recalibrates everything.
wow.
If you're off-road, yeah, they are not playing.
Well, but again, like I said, you have this new device that I tried to show you guys earlier or late last year.
Called radio.
No,
Dun,
if
dun.
all of a sudden Ken Chester disappears, I had nothing to do with it. No,
Open mic night.
snow tracks
Yeah,
that you put on the wheels.
yeah. But Jack,
That'll get you anywhere.
but that's in snow. How they
Right.
do in mud and water and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I have no idea. Only thing I'm thinking about right now, because we're in winter here,
Yeah.
is the
Quicksand.
snow.
Snow is part of it, but I'm telling you, this G-Wagon, 16, did I mention 16 inches of snow?
Yep.
Unplowed.
Wow.
Why were you driving in that to begin with?
Was coming home from Chicago.
Nothing is worth.
Had to get people home.
Nothing is worth
This-
endangering your life with 16 inches of unplowed snow.
This vehicle didn't even phase it. Didn't get stuck, didn't spin, didn't get hung up, nothing.
Well,
I was just outside of Cedar Rapids, coming the back way from Mount Vernon. Not even a problem.
I have made a decision in my life.
This could be serious, people.
If I am in that situation, I am finding the first motel I can get into.
Thank you.
Unless I'm driving a G-Wagon.
No,
Then I'm
thank
going
you.
home.
No, I'm
No.
going to get myself. I've driven through snowstorms, and when I got done, I was so
Sick.
nerve-wracked
Stress.
Yeah.
that, and one of my ex-girlfriends had said to me, "You're not okay."
You think?
I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm like this.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to drive one of these in that kind of weather, it won't even phase you. It's that uneventful. This thing is that awesome.
Well,
And that's before the redesign. This was like 10 years ago.
I'll take your word for
And
it.
this thing was that awesome.
No.
Okay, folks, in this next segment, I have my Jack moment. And it'll probably be the first vehicle we read because it's when it hit me. So,
Okay,
8
you
minutes, 50 seconds, sir.
Yes, sir. You ready?
I am ready. This is the fourth and final segment of this hour of Roadworthy Drive. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Ken Chester. Before we delve into the subject of this segment, a programming note. Coming up on the next hour of Roadworthy Drive, Sasha will be interviewing Eric Lunseth of Pedal, a new social media app that is laser focused on people and the cars they love. Sasha checked it out and was so impressed, she wanted to share what she discovered with our listeners. Isn't that right, Sasha?
Yes, absolutely. I was really, really excited. It's a great app, and I really think that a lot of our listeners will get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
So you're going to want to be sure to check out that interview, and that's next week right here. Now, during this hour, I've taken a look at the various vehicles that were introduced at recent car shows held in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Detroit. The foreign automakers seem to have spread their offerings across a broader menu of choices than their domestic brethren. For this final segment, I'm looking at a few of the concepts that they introduced as well. And I'm having my Jack moment right about now. One of the first vehicles, and we actually talked about this company before, but we didn't get a chance to go into the detail. They bill themselves as a Tesla competitor. And they're a Chinese company called Byton. That's B-Y-T-O-N. And they brought to Detroit something they call the Byton Electric Intelligent SUV. They claim it to be a new generation smart device to redefine mobility experience in the coming era of autonomous driving. They expect to introduce this in China in 2019 and the U.S. and Europe in 2020. They're estimating the price to be about $45,000, and this is what they call it: a unique digital design with an innovative human-vehicle interaction. The premium SUV functions as a new generation smart device built for the coming era of truly shared smart mobility and autonomous driving. It's an electric vehicle.
Okay.
Maximum range on their larger pack is 323 miles on a single charge. Here's what scared me, and I'm going to get to it. It gets down to, let me find this. Oh, yeah. It is equipped with multiple screens, including a shared experience display replacing the central console in traditional cars. A driver tablet and two display screens on the rear seat entertainment system integrate other content and features as part of the lounge. Now, the front seats can rotate 12 degrees inward, creating a shared space where occupants can interact with each other and the shared experience display even from the rear seats. They further take this, their concept is designed to make technology benefit life, providing enjoyable time for people on the move. That Byton Life is the core of that experience. It's an open digital cloud platform that connects applications, data, and smart devices.
Okay, there it is.
That's the start of my Jack moment. I'm not even there yet.
Really?
Yeah. The next thing creeped me out. 4 Byton Life features on display include My Health, My Communication, My Entertainment, and My Activities. Built-in hardware synchronizes with the user's other devices, enabling Byton to track the user's health status, including weight, heart rate, blood pressure, and synchronizes the user's data to give fitness advice. But I'm yet not done. Advanced in artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities analyze a user's calendar, locations, hobbies, and application data to provide customized advice on what to do next, making Byton smarter with every interaction.
Okay.
That is when I have my jack.
I have to say something at this point.
Yep.
The first time a car tells me to lose weight, I'm going to go find a gun.
No.
No. When he said that, I was literally picturing the car being like, Jack, you need to lose weight. And like a panel opening up at your feet and it expecting you to like pedal along like the Flintstones car.
Or the Jetsons, yeah. Okay. This next one is just for Sasha.
Oh, no.
It's Toyota's unveiled a new FTAC crossover SUV concept. They allege that this concept crossover may serve as the basis for the next generation RAV4.
Yeah.
And Sasha's saying that she loves the look.
I love
And in case y'all want to see, we do have these pictures out on Facebook right now. If you want to go out and take a look at what Sasha is drooling over. She's already put her order in for one.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay.
Even in that green.
Yeah. It's
Neon
got some really
green?
No, it's like a green, like a grass green. It's not quite as deep as a forest green, but it's not like a bright green.
And it's not like a mint green.
No.
Let me throw these at you. The infrared cameras and the side mirrors can record trail runs like the fog lights can be removed and mounted off vehicle so no fun goes unnoticed. An integrated Wi-Fi hotspot automatically uploads footage to cloud-based storage when real-time editing and posting can be done, accessed via mobile device. The Wi-Fi connectivity even gives adventure goers the ability to live stream the fun to fans and followers.
That sounds like the perfect roadworthy drive vehicle.
Wait a minute. Lastly, drivers and passengers can use the FTAC's geolocation capabilities for directions back to wherever. Now, even though it's a design experiment, it can be imagined as a thoroughly capable gasoline-powered vehicle. It could offer a next-generation hybrid powertrain.
Yep.
All these things, and their best part, without compromise. So, yeah, she's already put in her order for the next RAV4.
All I see with that car is, again, here we go, data mining again.
Mm-hmm.
Data mining, yeah.
Data mining. Another thing that Sasha was drooling over, the Lexus LF1 Limitless.
Yes.
Yeah. This thing is awesome, but let me read this because this gave me creeps too, Jack.
Okay.
Technology enhances the luxurious feel of the Lexus LF1 by expanding the options offered to the driver. It starts with the LF1's chauffeur mode, which allows for hands-free operation thanks to the vehicle's by-wire steering, braking, acceleration lights, and signals. The result is smooth, carefree driving with maximum efficiency and a reduced risk of accidents. That is a nice way of saying autonomous, by the way. And
okay, you were being politically correct there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw this last one out because this one also continued to freak me out. The Infinity Q Inspiration concept. I'm going to just pull this piece out. New ProPilot technologies, and I quote, liberate the driver from mundane and stressful drives. Well, I like my mundane and stressful drives. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm with Jack on this, people. Believe it or not. But basically, yeah. Concept proposes how an innovative powertrain, next-level autonomous drive technologies, and a unique human-centric interior could enrich the experience for drivers of luxury sedans. And this thing does some of the same stuff that other one did that gave me the creeps. So that wraps up our coverage, folks, for what's new and notable. With Chicago coming up in New York in April, you can bet we've got more to share with you. On behalf of the Roadworthy Drive crew, thanks for tuning in. You have been listening to Roadworthy Drive with Ken Chester.
Roadworthy Drive with Ken Chester is a copyrighted presentation of the Roadworthy Drive Radio Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use is prohibited without the written consent of the Motor News Media Corporation.
Before we leave, I want to touch a little bit more on that inspiration concept that kind of freaked me out. They say it again further on in this thing. They say that the new ProPilot functionality liberates the driver. Liberates the driver. Then is he still a driver or she?
No.
From mundane and stressful driving situations. Realizing the next stage in vehicle autonomy for infinity, ProPilot enables drivers to delegate more stressful driving tasks to the car and enjoy an enhanced ability to respond to hazards. With the system acting as a co-pilot, the driver always retains ultimate control. I'm creeped out.
If you're paying attention.
Well, the car, any of these cars will warn you before it takes action. Now, that I know, in fairness. But the thing that this also shared with the Byton is it said some of the same things. And I'm trying to find it right now. And because I read it twice, I'm like, ooh, I do not like the sounds of this. But basically, we are getting a whole new take on the nanny state.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm not sure I like it.
And I'm sorry, but when you're sitting there telling me that I'm overweight and I got to do something, I don't need a machine telling me that.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question. Is it going to become to a level where, let's say, your car just decides to drop you off maybe 3 blocks from work or 3 blocks from your house and says, you know, to help with your weight loss program or your weight loss goals or to keep you healthier, we suggest that you walk home from here. And your car just meets you back at your house.
Yeah, this is the part. I found it.
Okay.
The car integrates passengers into the cabin with a human-machine interface. That term makes me nervous. With well-being and relaxation at its core, the Q Inspiration's human-machine interface, a touchscreen for each passenger, offers, I'm not even lying, this is the words from Infinity, please listen, offers a meditation regeneration mode. This minimizes the level of information displayed and offers guided meditation to help occupants relieve any stress behind when they start a journey. The car can also monitor passenger biometrics. I told you this was coming. I told you months ago this was coming, that they were going to get to the point where the car could monitor your health and well-being, which on the surface, at basic, if I'm having a heart attack or a medical emergency,
that's a good thing.
I'm good with that. But this thing's kind of creeping me out like Brave New World stuff. You know, you get into this meditation, all I can see is these utopian movies that we've watched down through the years where, you know, people become mindless beings.
You know, and I'm sorry, but this is beginning to sound like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Exactly. And that's where I'm at.
How would you like that, Dave?
Stop it.
No,
So,
we don't need HAL.
No.
That we don't need.
We don't need a HAL 2000.
No.
On that note, folks, that's food for thought. And the question begs it, how much assistance, how much integration is too much? Drop us a line. Either, you know, drop us a line on the Roadworthy Drive line. That's 872-222-9793. Email me at ken@roadworthydrive.com. Or maybe even make a statement on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line. Let us know what you think about this. On behalf of the Roadworthy Drive team, Jack, Sasha, myself, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.